What's going on, guys? Today we are down in the chicken yard, and the first thing we're going to do is attach this hook to our post here. We're just down at the bottom of the hill of our composting area. Before we head back, there's a look at one of our new roosters. Pretty red right there. This black one. And there's two more. There's one right behind us here, if I can pan around. This guy, and then we got a white one again. There he is. Right there. So now that you've seen our new roosters, I can tell you the story of how we got to our project today. We thought we were fighting a battle with our chickens on eating our eggs. And I started doing a few different things trying to get them to stop. And one of the things that I was going to start doing was start to free range them again, get them out of the coop, maybe a little bit of boredom or, lacking just different things that they can find scratching around. So I picked up them roosters from a friend, and when I brought them in around 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish, there ended up being a possum in the nesting box staring at me. So we got that problem taken care of, and our eggs are back in full, thankfully. But that possum is still laying back there from the other day, and it made me think about finally getting around to making a maggot bucket. And it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So we have a 1/4-inch drill bit. We're going to hit the bottom of this around the side, put a couple larger holes in the lid, and then we're going to go back to the coop. So we have our holes in the bottom and halfway up the side. Now, I'm going to do my top a little different just because I am fortunate to have this kind of stuff around. You could always just drill some really large holes in the top where big enough for a fly to get down into. But I have a hole saw kit and some 3/4 fittings. This one takes the small one. So I am going to drill one in the very center. Don't usually use the small ones. So now that we have our hole drilled, I have a 3/4 MIP with a lock ring that I'll thread down onto this. I have a small stub of 3/4 PVC and a T. Basically, doing it this way is just going to keep it to where the rain isn't pouring down through this into our bucket. So it might make it a little easier for them to crawl down in there as well. I don't know. Like I said, you can just do some really large holes in the top of the lid, or you could even do them up here and higher in your bucket, and it would work just fine. This is just the way I'm doing it because I have it around. So we will take this to the back. So we have our bucket, and before we left the barn, I threw a little bit of hay in the bottom of it, and we have our possum. There was already a bunch of flies on him over there, so they are back for the year. That's kind of what made me know that I could go ahead and get this started. We also have a little bit of hay for the top. That'll help with the smell. And one thing I've seen is by adding some to the bottom, and that's another reason for all the holes, but it'll keep the maggots from drowning before they can actually get out and the chickens can eat them. So it gives them something for the maggots to crawl on and get out of the moisture. So we will snap this shut, hang it, and see what happens with it. I hope that we will start to see something here in a couple days. I'm sure we will, but we'll find out. So if you watch our channel, you know that I'm into different ways of feed for our chickens. We have our worm bin. We've just built the maggot bucket. Another thing I'd really love to do would be to set up a biopod for black soldier flies. It's kind of one thing I don't really know if anybody, we're in southern Indiana, Ohio area, if anybody around here has had success with black soldier flies in our area. I would love to hear about it. But if doing worms or maggot bucket is not your style, whether it just you don't have the space, the time, or you think it's gross, but you want your chickens to have access to something like that for them as far as protein and everything else goes, and a treat, Grub Terra reached out to me and sent me a bag to try out. They do black soldier flies, and they dry them and package them and send it to your door. So you don't have to go through the process of doing it all yourself. You can just buy it. As far as the price goes, when I looked at their website, it's a little bit more money than I would like to pay for something like this, but like most homesteaders, I'm trying to get the best quality egg at the cheapest price possible. Notice the order I said that in. So it's not really something that I personally would buy. And if I did, it wouldn't be very often. But I'm willing to go above and beyond to set up stuff like this and worm bins and different things like that to acquire that myself. But this is a great option for you if you're not willing to do all of those things, or you don't want to do all those things. So to read off of their bag, Grub Terra and our partner farms feed our black soldier fly larvae pre-consumer food waste from supermarkets. Every 1 pound of Grub Terra's dried black soldier fly larvae equals 20 pounds of food waste saved from landfills. So that's super awesome. I 100% believe in their mission of saving perfectly good food waste from going into our landfills. You know, it really doesn't no good for it to end up there. It could turn into so many other things, whether it be compost, protein, for feed. There's just so much use for it. Just another form of recycling. Every form is great. So they really good company. They obviously put a lot of work into what they're doing, acquiring food waste, growing the larva, drying the larva, packaging the larva, and then sending it to your door. So kind of reverting back to the price thing, it does kind of pay, you know, they got to make a top end somewhere to keep doing it. It's just not personally something for me. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how often maybe I want to order it. But it could be a very good option for very many people. And this is also not just good for chickens. I mean, you could use it for reptiles, birds, or fish. If that's something that you are interested in, they were nice enough to give me a code. I'll put that in the description. Nothing comes back to me, but it will save you on your first purchase. So take advantage of that if that's something you want to try out. Grub Terra. So now that we've gotten to this point of the video, we've talked about our eggs, we've talked about the possum, we built the maggot bucket. Now I want to circle back to how the possum got in there to eat our eggs in the first place. This chicken door has been out for quite a long time now. It's a chicken guard. It's the second one that I've bought from them. The first one was definitely nothing on their end as far as why it broke. One of our dogs got a hold of it, tore it up. So this was the replacement. But these chicken guard doors are not very cheap at all. And this being the second one I bought, it did not last very long at all. And it's fully protected. It's got a roof above it. It's not the batteries. It's running 110 from power inside my chicken house. And this thing just started spazzing out. I had to restart it. It started with having to reset it at least once a week, fix the time, get it to open and close right, because it would be completely on the wrong time, like it lost power. And yeah, I'm not going to spend the money on a chicken guard again, but I do need to get a new door put on for our hen house. That's the reason the possum got in there to begin with and caused a whole big mess. So I want to know what your preferred door is as far as an automatic door. I do prefer powered, not solar. I mean, I have the roof up here I could run solar up to, but I much prefer the 110, seeing as how I have it already ran and it's right on the other side of this wall. So I would prefer it to be powered, not solar, definitely not battery powered, and preferably like in the 150 and down range. Let me know what you think. Yeah, he agrees. Let me know what you think. Comment that below. Pros, cons, price, whatever you want to include. And I appreciate that very much.